Oh, we're recording? Hello, everybody. How's it going? Yada, 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 yada. It's been a while since I've done a video. Really the main reason is that my camera that I usually film with is on the fritz. And right now I don't really have any cash to get it fixed. And actually the last video that I posted was done with this, which is my laptop and the webcam, and you have to forgive me. It's really strange because I'm not used to seeing myself backwards on screen. Because usually when I'm looking at my camera, I'm looking at myself the correct way. Anyway, I digress. So I thought, you know what, I want to do a video. Actually, a couple weeks ago, I was hanging out with a friend, a really close friend of mine, and we were talking about ebooks. And anyone who is paying attention, whether you watch TV or you're into literature on some level, knows that Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Borders, they're all competing for their version of the iPad. They're all competing for entertainment in books. And so my question to everybody is, and this is actually relating to comics, what would you rather have? Would you rather have your comic books in dead tree form, or would you want to chuck them all, get rid of them all, and have all your comics as an ebook download, as a PDF or whatever? There's pros and cons, obviously. Pros is that your big giant comic collection that's in your room, in your garage, you know, taking up space, your boxes or whatever, won't have to anymore because it's all going to be digital. And you wouldn't have to worry about space, other than space on maybe your computer. But I mean, you can take that stuff and theoretically put it on a disk or some kind of external storage device. Me personally, I am still always going to be in favor of the dead tree version. Yeah, it takes up space, but you know what? It makes me look like a learned person if you see all these books, you know, on someone's shelf. You know, it makes me think, you know, I'm kind of a smart guy if I have a lot of books on my shelf. Maybe not comics per se. I honestly think that comics themselves, actual comic books, are probably dying, but graphic novels are not, which are still related to comic books because most graphic novels now are either complete stories or collected works of comic books. Comics themselves are expensive, very expensive. While I was visiting my friend, we went to the comic store, and you know, these comics go from like $3 to $5 each, and they're printed on, you know, they're printed on nice material. But you know, my comic books, for me, I don't need to have them on nice material. I just have to, for me, I just have to have them printed and, you know, have them last, obviously. But there's the, you know, there's the pro and con there as well, in that, you know, with ebooks nowadays, you can download an entire story or book for 99 cents or less. You know, so there's a pro and a con there as well. Pro is money. Con is, for me, you know, you don't actually have the physical form in your hands. I don't know. It's a debate. What do you guys think? I'm curious. We talked about possibly putting some of our work online for downloading, which I might do later on. I have a couple stories that are completed, and I might actually put them online for people to view for free. And maybe some of my other graphic novels, which I have, you know, download for maybe $1. Would it be worth it to you guys to be able to download graphic novels for $1 and have them on your computer? I'm just curious I'm just curious as to what everybody thinks about this. Is our books dead? Are comic books dying? Is electronic form the way of the future? I mean, 10 years ago, they tried doing this, and it failed miserably. But on the plus side, as a student, I think it's really smart to do ebooks for like textbooks, because then the students aren't having to carry like all these big giant textbooks. They can download them on an iPad or a Kindle or whatever for relatively cheap, because textbooks, they cost a lot of money too. I mean, God, you know, I've been a student recently, and I know exactly how much textbooks cost, even just regular books, and even comic books, you know, costs a lot of money. You know, to be a collector, you gotta have like a fortune. And you know, anyway, pros and cons. Let me know. I'm curious. Would you be willing to buy my work online if if you can download it? Would you there are a lot of people already buying stuff online, comic books. What do you think? Do you think comic books are dying? Do you think ebooks are the way of the future? Let me know, and we'll have a little debate, a little bit talk about it. I'm really curious. I mean, there are people out there that think it's a really cool idea, but they're like me. They're traditionalists. Always going to want to have something in their hands, something that's tangible, something they can touch. And what happens if your computer gets a virus and you lose everything? Well, my friend said, well, I'll download them again. I'm like, well, then you spent all this money, and what if your computer's corrupted? You can't access your hard drive and get all that stuff back. So, but that's the same thing, too, with books. You have a fire in your house. Well, guess what? Those books are gone. So, one way or the other, there's still, one can say one thing, but, it can say the opposite thing for the same thing. I wonder if I even said that right. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Stay awesome, and maybe I'll start doing a little more vlogging as time progresses.